We're live. Hello, everyone. Shout out to each and every one of you. And thank you guys so much for tuning into this live with your girl, Sighren. Okay. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. We're going to be talking about relationships and stuff today, y'all. Yes, we are. So I have decided to move all of my lives over here. My vlogs are going to be over here so everybody can get the messages that I put out, because a lot of people who watch my vlogs message me and say, hey, you talk about you're going live, but I haven't seen you go live, because they thought I was going live on this channel right here, and I'm not. I'm like, no, I go live on my other channel. So you guys are not confused. I'm just going to merge everything into this channel right here. I am Sighren. Okay. So y'all, today we are going to be talking about relationships, okay? And the importance of understanding a relationship and your relationship. I always tell you guys, people need to understand what a relationship is, okay? We start to join or get connected in relationships from early on in our life, okay? I always say relationships are just like school. Relationships are just like school. When you go to school, you go there to learn a lesson, and you have different teachers that are going to teach you different life lessons, right? They're going to teach you different lessons. You have your kindergarten teacher, you have your first grade teacher, all the way up until whenever it is that you stop going to school, okay? So you have all of your teachers that are providing you all of this message that you need so that you can graduate and finish, so that you can grow, so that you can evolve. Right? This is the same way relationships are, you guys, whether it be a friendship, whether it be a connection, okay, a marriage, a boyfriend, girlfriend, however, whatever it may be, okay? When we are encountering and going in relationships, you need to understand that there is a purpose. Each relationship is like a teacher getting ready to teach you a lesson, regardless of whom it is that you are getting in a relationship with. I think a lot of us, we get in relationships for the entertainment of it all, to say I'm in a relationship or to see what this person can do for us. I feel like social media has provided so many people to encourage us to not take relationships as serious as we should. Okay. Oh, get it in and see what he can do for you, or, see what she can do for you. Whatever the connection is as to why it is that, we're being programmed to get in these relationships, it's just very subtle. Okay, very, very, very subtle. And we need to understand the critical part of being in a relationship, and why is it that our body naturally seeks a partnership with someone? Okay, are you seeking someone just for the entertainment of it all? And if so, why? So when we get in these relationships, like I say, relationships, the person is like a teacher. They're coming to teach you something about you. Okay, a lot of people say, well, what can they teach me? They can't, teach me how to Dougie. No, not that, okay? These people who we get in these relationships come to teach us something about ourselves. First things first, as women, we're like magnets. We're very magnetic energy, right? And the masculine energy is like an electric energy. So we naturally will attract to that type of energy, okay? So what is it that your soul is attracting you to? You go to school to learn a lesson, okay? When we encounter relationships, you are getting with someone who once you get to a more advanced level in life, energetically, you'll be able to choose, okay, who it is that you engage with, as opposed to allowing it to be random, like some luck of the draw, okay, type of experiment. So when you are first starting out, you guys, before you are, into a higher level or higher frequency, you will naturally attract people that have life lessons for you. Now, what do I mean when I say you would attract people who have life lessons for you? If you are a person who perhaps maybe daddy was in there, okay, maybe daddy wasn't there when you were younger, which means your masculine energy was not there in your foundation of your life when you were between 1 and 5 years old, or the most critical years between 1 and 9 years old, okay? Daddy wasn't there. It was just mom who had to raise you. Okay. And mom ended up having 4 other kids. So it wasn't just you. Okay. Mom had to divide her attention between you and all of these other siblings, and plus work, and plus if she was in a relationship and things of that nature. So let's say you were the first child. Mom is no longer with your dad, but now she gets into a relationship with the second child's father, and make, let's say, the second child and the third child and the fourth child with this same person. So now you're a child who's in this household, okay? But your father isn't there. And even though you have a great stepfather, you still will long for a connection with your father. Okay. So this does emerge, okay, as you get older and mature, right? As you become an adult, you will start to make decisions from this level of insecurity that you did not even know was there. A lot of us will say, I don't care. My daddy wasn't there. I had a great stepdad. I'm over it. You don't know that you're over it until some stuff starts to come up in your life as you get older, which will let you know, hey, you're not over it. Okay. So, what will happen is we will then attract a man who perhaps he's financially able. Okay. Let's say he's very stable, he's very secure. And you think, I just attract men who, take care of me. I like a man to take care of me. I like a man who can, pay my bills. I like a man who can pay his bills. I just like, when you boil down to the reason you are naturally being attracted to men like this, okay, it's because of that lack of the father that was there from your childhood, okay, which means you're still searching. Even as a child, because we didn't heal this as a child. We didn't go get any therapy. We never addressed it. We just grew older. Daddy was there. Daddy wasn't there. I don't care. That's what we think. So now we're attracting men who are older. A lot of us, we will attract more mature and more older men. And we think that we just like an older man, but really on the inside, okay, what is happening on the inside is now being mirrored back to you on the outside. Like, dang, the father wasn't there. So we tend to attract more of a fatherly type of man in our life. Okay. Other circumstances is perhaps when you were younger, maybe there was some abuse. Okay. Maybe there was some physical abuse, right? So now, as you get older, some people can, I want to say, the way they handle abuse, okay, the way they connect with abuse, some people can get so used to it as a child that they think that it's normal and it's okay. So women who got abused, and when I say abuse, that's any type of corporal punishment that we may have experienced as a child that we were raised to believe that's okay. That's normal, right? So now in a relationship, you're attracting a man. Some women will attract a man who may be, abusive, and they will see it as normal. And we say, why don't you leave? Why don't you leave? And they stay because they have found a way to normalize, okay, that behavior. When I was young, I got hit on. My mom did it. So why can't he? I still love my mom. You didn't tell me not to love my mom. There are so many reasons as to why we attract the people that come into our life. And it is our responsibility, okay, to look deeper into why we are attracting the people, okay, that are coming into our life. Because when you go deeper and you look into why you're attracting that person, you will then be able to understand the life lesson that comes with that person, what this person is mirroring back to you about yourself. Okay. There was a young lady recently that I saw on YouTube, and she brought up a statement about in a relationship. After being in a long-term relationship, however long-term is different for each of us. After being in a relationship, with a man, do men tend to fall out of love or no longer be attracted to you? And majority of the people say yes. Of course. A man is eventually going to fall out of love with you or no longer be attracted to you, or vice versa, okay? She's going to fall out of love with him, no longer be attracted to him. Now, the longer you're in a relationship, see, the thing about it is that a person should continue to fall in love with you. If you haven't given a person a reason to fall in love with you, then it's not their bad, that's your bad. That's how I see it, and this is just Sighren speaking, okay? You have to give a person a reason a man should fall in love with you every phase of your life if you are on top of your, okay? Now, some women say they can get bored with you. One thing about me, when I met my husband, I was in my 20s, okay? I was in 21, I believe, when I met my husband, okay? Now I'm looking into my 50s, okay? So in my 20s, I was a totally different person, right? In my 30s, I became an even more mature version of myself. In my 40s, okay, I became an even more mature version of myself, as well as in my 50s, okay? Listen, every step of the way, when you keep yourself up, when you give him a reason to continue to fall in love with you over and over, even though we have been together damn near 30 years, my husband can tell you that the woman I was when he met and the woman I am today are two totally different women. Parts of me are the same, but there are parts of me that are different. What I wanted when I first met my husband, oh, please, okay? My dreams and aspirations at 21, listen, it was not the way they are today. What I wanted in my dreams and aspiration was, oh, I want to get I want a nice car. I want some rims on it. I want to keep my hair done, my nails done. My priorities were a little bit different then. Okay. As I got into my 40s, I'm like, listen, I need my plot paid for. I need IUL life insurance. I want some property that we can rent out. Okay. Some real estate. I want some stocks. Okay. I want to buy some stock. I want to experience totally different things than I did when I was in my 20s. Okay. Which means as I've grown, I've changed. I've evolved. So how can he not continuously fall in love with you over and over and over again? If he's falling out of love with you, it's because you've become stuck in a phase of yourself. He has dealt with you in your 20s. Maybe in your 30s, you still acting like your 20-something-year-old self. So he's like, look, you should be that 30-year-old version of you now, but you're still stuck in your 20-year-old version of you. So, maybe he's looking somewhere else because he's looking for a more mature woman, right? There are certain reasons as to why someone can fall out of love with you. And that's why I say it is your responsibility. It is your responsibility to stay in the highest version of yourself, so that that person can make a reasonable decision as to whether they are in or out of love with you. See, some of us, we want our significant other to stay in love with us when we do nothing. We want them to stay in love with us through thick and thin, and we're giving them too much thick and not enough thin. Even when it comes to, like weight, okay? Even when it comes to us gaining weight, because as women, when we're in a relationship, we can have children, okay? As well as with age, you can tend to gain a little bit of weight. You still not that little young tenderoni. Them thighs ain't as tight as they used to or as slim as they used to. The boobs are not as perky as they used to be. So it's like, okay, what can I do about this? There's a lot of things that we can do, you guys, so that we can, remain sexy. The first sexy part of you is your mind. Okay. The first sexiest part of you, you guys, is your mind. And why is it that your mind is so sexy? Because see, men, one thing we should know, men are visual. So you create the vision. Okay. One thing a man, when you want to give him a good visual, tell him your dreams and aspirations, even though they have not manifested yet. When a man hear you say certain things, when he hear you talk a certain talk, okay, he is right there with you. You've given him a visual of what y'all life is going to be like in the next 3 to 5 years. Okay. And when you give him that visual, and that's something like, dang, baby, okay, you know what? We're going to start investing in real estate. We're going to save up and we're going to purchase our first property, real estate property. We're going to, go out and we're going to look at certain areas to see what a greatest buy is going to be. Even though that ain't happening yet, you're giving him a visual. And a lot of men fall in love with that. Okay. They love that you stay motivating them. They love that you always have, some great ideas. They love that you feed and they mind. Okay. That's one thing that is very, very, very sexy. See, a lot of us women, we don't have that talk. We don't have, we stay stuck in, oh, he just needs to take care of me. And we feel like we are not supposed to be doing our part in the connection or in the relationship. Okay. And so when you are attracted to that next level of a man. And that's why I say you both should be evolving in the relationship, because see, he was introduced to that 20-year-old version of you. Now you in your 40s. How you know he like her? He may not like her. Okay. She may have jumped into her 50 because now she acting like an old granny. And he's like, oh no, You know, we have a responsibility, you guys, and so do they, but we're talking about us. We have a responsibility to keep them, interested. And you do that just by being on top of yourself, by staying in the highest version of you. See, we get lazy, we tend to fall behind, we tend to procrastinate, and we get comfortable. And when we get comfortable, we start moving a little bit slower. And next thing you know, we just sitting like this. That's it. We just sitting like this. We're not stimulating his mind. We're not stimulating his body. We're not stimulating his household. When he come home, you want to make sure like that bedroom got some new sheets on it. You want to make sure that bathroom's set up different for the different seasons or holidays. Give him something, intrigue his mind so he's not coming home to the same thing over and over. If you keep him bored, okay, then guess what? He's going to look for that excitement outside, because while you sitting over here tripping because you feel too comfortable with him, she over there, every time he go to her house, she got some new sheets on that bed. They ain't won the bed blue last week. Now it's gray this week. Yeah. One the bathroom you had. Oh, I like that little setup you did in your bathroom. That's cute. I like that right there. You know what I'm saying? She knows his favorite meal already, right? See, we have to make sure that we stay on top of what it is we need to do. But I think sometimes we can get comfortable, which can cause complacency and then lazy. And then, we just like, I don't understand why he with her. Okay. My thing when it comes to relationships, okay, another question that you guys have asked me before when it comes to relationship is about infidelity. Okay, I have said this, if not once, probably a million times. All my single ladies, all my single ladies, all my single ladies, shut your up. Y'all stop talking about he cheating on me when you're not married. Okay, I love you, my single ladies. I do. Okay. But there's a time for y'all to have a conversation, and there's a time to don't say nothing. When you are in a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, when you have to put on any legal document that you are single, meaning just one, okay, you by yourself, ain't no other half. Single is a time to really enjoy, okay, the whole idea of a relationship or being, in a partnership with someone. It's not a time to take it serious. See, a lot of y'all get with men and be like, oh, he cheating on me. Let me tell you what it is. You're lazy. You don't like competition. You don't understand this is a game, honey. You playing a game to win that ring. Okay. You're playing a game to be the best contestant, right? And what happens, we get with a dude because we really like him. We want him to act like he our husband now, and you can't see nobody else. See, one thing about me, when I was dating my husband, okay, and if ever I found out about, other women, which I knew when we were dating, I'm pretty sure were other women. I knew my role. I knew my position, okay? I knew where I was on that game board, right? So every time he came over to me, I made sure, I was looking nice. My house smelled nice. I had some food cooking. Okay. All type of stuff, y'all. I mean, there were so many things that, I did, but honestly, it was naturally my own energy, but he peeped that. He saw that. See, them other ones wasn't keeping up with it. They probably got a little nervous. They found out about me and they were just like, look, it's over. I seen her. It's over. Yeah, I done lost. Some of them dropped out the race. Eventually, it was just easy, and I end up winning. Okay, but there were so many things that I did. I wasn't like pissed off whenever I found out about a chick. Whenever I found out about, baby, what's going on? Whenever I found out that there was competition, oh, that's time for you to step your game up. If this is somebody that you really see yourself being with, if this is a potential candidate, somebody who you like, yes, he's the one. That's a time for you to step your game up. Okay, that's not a time for you to, oh, who is Keisha? Oh, is she Eric? I seen her. So what? Step your game up. Now, first thing, what I do as a single woman, okay, if the guy that I am interested in, I see that he has found time to, entertain another chick, I start demanding more. Okay. I start demanding more. I'm going to, cook more expensive steaks, and I want to go out to more expensive restaurants because apparently, if you got extra money to where you could take Keisha and Tanya out as well, let me go ahead and get the majority of this right here. So by the time I'm done with him, he ain't gonna have nothing to go over there and chill with them there and take you to nowhere. Okay. But I start demanding more, and you put your demands out. Don't be afraid as a single woman to put your demands out. Okay. And if he cannot commit to those demands, then it's your responsibility to move on and not sit there and lollygag. Okay. He's already shown you, listen, this all I got for you. Then move on. I think as single women, we are afraid to move on. We tend to hold on to more than we should. Once the milk has expired, y'all still got it sitting in the back of your refrigerator. It ain't ever. Okay, gonna get better. No matter what you do to that milk, throw it away. Okay, so you need to know how to exit a relationship once the connection has expired, and stop trying to force yourself to be in these relationships when you know dang on well it's not what you want and it's already not, helping you right now anyway. So single women, you cannot be cheated on. I'm sorry. Okay, I know y'all saying loyalty and this and that. Be loyal to yourself. Give yourself enough time to date. When you are single, allow yourself enough time to date. I always tell you, as a single woman, you should always have your top 5. If you keep your top 5, you ain't got to be running behind this one, that one, and this one. You keep your top 5. You got one paying the light bill, one paying the cable bill, one giving you the car insurance, one paying the rent, Listen, that way you ain't got to get a large lump sum from one person. You break it on down. And now the thing about the top 5, see, there could be others out here telling y'all to lie to these men. I come from a totally different ball game. Okay. When I was dating, Tom knew about John, Tim, and Tyrone. Okay. He knew, listen, got a piece of paper? I say, come here. Let me holler at you. Okay. This is how you got to do it, y'all. Okay. You see this number right here? This is my monthly expenses. All right. You see that, boy? That's my monthly expenses. Okay. You giving me $1,500, which means I have $3,000 left in monthly expenses that you cannot cover, which is evenly divided amongst John, Paul, and Tyrone. Now, until you are able to come in my life and provide what it is that I need, okay, and there will be no need for John, Paul, and Tyrone. So if you really want them to leave, then you know what you got to do. That's point blank, period. See, when you are leading people on and making them think you're the onlyest one, when you're leading people on to make them think that they're the only one, you're starting off the relationship or the connection with a lie. I don't ever want to have to lie to a man just to get something out of him. Okay, listen, baby, these my expenses right here. Now you got all this. Do you have all of this? Okay. When you are single and you have your top 5 covering your bills, this is your chance to take all your money, okay, the money that you're not having to spend on bills because you got your top 5 covering multiple of your bills, okay? That's the time for you to take your money, put it to the side, invest it. Okay. Listen, if you could live like this through all of your 20s, and if you're lucky and good, your 30s, by the time you're 38 years old, you should be ready to purchase your first home. Okay. You should already have some sort of business established, as well as your IUL life insurance and some stocks, because your top 5 have been covering your living expenses for the last dang on 20 years. Okay. So you have 20 years worth of investments that you have been making. Right? This is if you do it right. The top 5 is not just to say you got a whole bunch of men in your life. No, single ladies, no. This is your plan. This is your way out. This is so you can get some sort of business, go to school while you got them covering your expenses, honey. You use that money to go to school. You get certified in something. You start your LLC. Okay, you pay all of your fees and stuff in that. You start focusing. If you want a boutique or something, you start scouting locations. All right, you start getting your designs together. You start connecting with either them meet the Chinese folk over there ordering all your. However you do it. However you do it. You get that done. You do all of that in your 20s. You do all of that in your 30s. By the time you in your late 30s, guess what? You are ready for marriage at that point. Now, see, you don't got time for nobody who can't pay that whole $4,500 because you done invested in yourself. Now you are a woman of what they call value. Okay. Now you are a woman of value. Now you are somebody who you can make a decision as to who you want in your life. You don't have to go by whoever say, hey girl, what's up? Let me get your number. You don't have to go by that. You could skip. Now you can choose. You don't have to say, well, he asked me for my number. I'm going to just give him a chance. Now you can sit at a table with him on that first date and be like, okay, so what is your 5-year plan? Because guess what? Now you thinking like a man at this point because you like, I'm invested. I'm well vested in myself. I have a business. I have my own home. I own my car. You know, I have too much to lose. So I can't just be wasting time with nobody who ain't going nowhere who want to drive my car while I go to work all day. See, now you are in a position to where you can choose the type of partner that you want because you have healed and invested and worked on yourself. Okay. So single ladies, have fun, y'all. Stop trying to be married. Stop trying to be a wife without the ring. Okay? Stop trying to be a wife without the ring. Now, when it comes to cheating for my wives, okay, for all of my women out there who are married, you've been in this relationship, you done worked hard for that ring, you hit that home run, you know, and you got that ring. And now it has gotten to a point where the marriage is no longer fun. It's getting a little stale. You know, he's always gone. Y'all don't really have fun too much together and stuff like that. And you know that intuition kick in. Them dreams start coming in. You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, you in a corner singing, I'm not your superwoman. You know what to do because you're just like, so what happens when a married woman finds out her husband is cheating? 9 times out of 10, when y'all find out, y'all look through his phone and you like, oh, I know he not. You know, I'm going to get him. First thing you want to do is pick up that phone, get that woman's phone number and call this woman. Okay? Y'all want to get on the phone. Y'all want to check out her Instagram. Y'all want to check out her Facebook. Y'all want to see her whole life, what she got going on, all this stuff. And next thing you know, you want to start sending her DMs or you want to call her. You want to let her know that you are there. Trust me. Okay. She may or may not know. That's where you did wrong. Okay. Because first of all, this woman ain't never go before court and say that she was going to be loyal and vow to you. You should never, ever, ever in your long-legged life want to or desire to have a conversation with the woman who is dating your husband or intimate with your husband or seeing your husband. Why are you going? What do you want to talk to her about? She owes you nothing. Y'all talk more to the woman than you do the man. Y'all be more mad at the woman than you are the man. This woman has never said, I vow to be loyal to you. Therefore, she has done nothing to you. Okay? It takes him to leave y'all bed and go to hers. So that's the only person you should be having a conversation with. Now, I do believe as a married woman that you should address any infidelity. I don't think you should not say nothing and hope that it'll end, or the last one thing I do not like to see is when a woman allows a man to disrespect her body. And when I say that, I mean when a married woman finds out that her husband is cheating, so she's like, oh, I'm gonna go cheat too. That is the most disrespectful, crazy thing you can ever do to your body. So you just gonna go let somebody else enjoy your body because your husband out there doing something stupid and you're not strong enough to leave or address it. That's not what you do. Okay. What you do is you have a nice, healthy conversation. You make him a good plate of food. Or as a matter of fact, I don't ever think you should address this at home. So please, I forget where we at with it. Okay. You should never address infidelity rumors at home. You say, hey baby, when he come in after, hey, how you doing? You know what? This week, Friday, we're gonna go out to whatever your favorite restaurant is, a nice exclusive restaurant. Okay. We're gonna go out to Tommy's. Okay. Yeah. We haven't been there in so long. And I just have so much I want to talk to you about. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. So you just make sure on Friday you get yourself together because we're gonna go up and Tommy's. Honey, we finna have us a night. Don't get mad. Hold your attitude back. Because once you have him in a restaurant like this, he is in a controlled environment. Okay. Now, one thing what you're gonna do is you're gonna drive your car. Don't let him drive his car. Okay. He gonna ride with you. You gonna drive. That way, once you get him there, he can't storm off and leave unless he want to Uber. He can't storm off and leave. And one, he's not gonna get loud because y'all in a nice controlled environment. Okay. So once that food comes out, or you got your little nice little glass of wine or whatever, and you sit back on him, and you just let him know. And see, I want you to be looking real nice, because see, he gonna know when you looking real nice and look real good. You ain't trying to be loud and ghetto and tacky. You gonna be real classy with it, okay? And you're gonna let him know, hey, how you doing, baby? Yeah. Well, I just want to let you know that I know all about Rachel. Yeah. I've enjoyed y'all little text messages, and I've, seen all of those things or whatever. And I just want to let you know she was not a part of our agreement. She was not a part of our contract. Okay. No, no, no. Have a seat, babe. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Because he gonna realize, damn, I ain't got my. Oh, man, what you mean? Listen? I don't know what has gone on between you and Rachel, but according to the text messages, you guys have been having a good, a great time together. I'm either ready to, if you're ready to end this marriage, then it goes one way. But if you're not ready to end your marriage, okay, you let him know this stops right here and right now. Okay. This stops right here and right now. Because one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fight for my marriage. I'm not at a point where I'm ready to let you go. Even though what you have done is very cruel and sensitive and it hurts like hell. I still have something in my heart for you. And I deserve, everything that I want. And right now, what I want is you. I want this marriage. So this thing between you and Rachel is going to stop. It's going to end yesterday. And I don't ever want to hear about it again. Okay. And you just be are you enjoying your dinner, baby? I know you ordered your favorite over there. Is it good? Did it taste the way it did the last time? And you keep it real nice, and you keep it real cordial, and you keep it real sexy. Because see, you dressed up, you looking nice and elegant. So you keep it real sexy. Okay. But if the marriage is not something you want, then you let him know, listen, this is not the first time, or, this is the first time is more than enough for me. Right? You've already violated the vows. Okay. So this conversation right here is how we are about to, split everything up. And I'm going to be going my way, and you are going to be going your way with Rachel or whomever. I don't care. Okay. And you just be ready with your book as to how everything's going to lay itself out. Because see, he wasn't ready for none of this. Okay. I've already moved 75% of the savings account over into my account because you violated the vows. Okay. I've already had somebody at the house changing the locks on the door as we speak. So when we get home, the key you have will no longer work. Okay. As a matter of fact, I do have a police officer on standby just in case you decide to act crazy. But since you've been at Rachel's house for the last, in and out for the last couple of weeks, I figured she got somewhere for you to sleep. You have, you just have to keep it very nice, very sexy, very classy. Don't ever let yourself get out of character, and please stop addressing the other woman. Rachel should not know. Whatever she hears, she gonna hear his version, and his version is gonna be broke down and chewed up because he ain't even gonna know what to say to her. Man, she found out. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I just, he ain't gonna be able to give her too much, But if you sit on the phone with Rachel for hours, she gonna know everything go on in your house, and or either y'all gonna be mad at each other. Rachel should not hear from you. Okay. Rachel should be very fearful. Okay. And she should not hear from you at all, point blank and period. Okay. So for my married women, either it depends on if you want to stay or if you want to go. If you want to fight for your marriage, then do that fight for your marriage. If you want to go, then, walk away. If you're strong enough to walk away, stop holding on. If you feel like this is something that happens a lot, stop holding on, because you ain't gonna do nothing but torture yourself. Okay. Really and truly torture yourself. To my single women, I want y'all to have fun. Okay. Really and truly have fun and understand that, you get to choose, you get to have a great time deciding who it is that you even want to marry. Okay. If somebody can't afford, at least 60% of your bills, then I don't know if you gonna see that as somebody who's very stable, somebody who don't make that much money. When you got somebody who's well into their 50s and they're just starting a job, it's so crazy because the other day I'm in the grocery store and this guy comes up to me and, he makes small talk with me. And, well, first of all, I had to tell him not too long in the conversation because he asked me, "Oh, what you doing later this weekend?" And this and that. I'm like, "Listen, I'm married. I'm gonna be hanging out with my husband. I'm sure." Okay. So once I let him know that, I was married, he did kind of, back off a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But prior to, he started to give me his resume. He's like, "Yeah, I just moved here from," I think he said Cali or somewhere he moved from, and he just started a job. He's the supervisor at such and such company, and he made $54 an hour, and he got full benefits, 401k. I mean, he broke it all. He broke it all down, and I'm just sitting up here laughing in my head because I'm saying to myself, I don't know who will find this sexy. I'm most certain some woman will find your conversation very sexy and be like, "Oh God, a good man with a good job." But for me, this guy looked as if he was well into his 50s, okay? At least anywhere from mid to late 50s, at least, okay? And I'm thinking to myself, from mid to late 50s, you shouldn't be starting no damn job, sir. Okay. You should be about to retire. You should be telling me, "Okay, well, I'm getting ready to retire soon. And, with all of my investments that I've made throughout my work history, I'm ready to just travel the world." That is some sexy right there. Okay. I don't want to hear you hourly at damn near 60 years old. Okay. I don't want to hear that you just started a job at damn near 60 years old. I don't care how much you make, sir. Okay. I don't hear no retirement plan. I don't want to hear all of that type of stuff. Now, like I said, for somebody out there gonna find that sexy. Somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, yeah, girl, you turned that down." Listen, that was just not sexy for me. That's why I say, you guys, we evolve as women. We evolve all the time. Now, when I was in my 20s, that probably would have sounded very sexy to me. I didn't know any better. I didn't know about life at that time. "Oh, he's older. He made good money." I'm like, he should be retiring, not starting. So this is showing me that there is some delay here. Okay. There's a major delay. You're supposed to be finishing and you just now starting. Something ain't right with that. But anywho, that's just me. Okay. The way I think today, I'm like, this guy probably feel like he said the right thing and said all the wrong stuff to me. Okay. I was just like, I had to pull out my little trick daddy. Okay, not cute, not cute. But anywho, we're gonna keep it very brief. Okay, today, you guys, we will definitely come back. And like I said, for all of your topics, y'all, make sure you message me, DM me if there's anything in specific that you guys wish to talk about. Today, I just wanted to do a slow introductory with you guys and let y'all know we're gonna be coming on here. We're gonna be talking about some stuff. So shout out to my gems and shout out to each and every one of you. Thank you guys for your subscriptions, your like, and your shares. And I will see y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.